Okay, on a bit later, I'm just gonna do a super quick initial settings video, just purely while I'm checking through everything, because I haven't played the game yet. There's definitely going to be stuff that'll change, but just while I'm setting it up. So this is all my controller stuff. There's a few in here that are a big, like, so make sure controller is off, trigger effects off. I'm starting on 5.5. I think default's 4.4. If you're not sure what to do, what I find is if you're going to be playing slower, maybe an AR or something, you're going to end up with a lower sensitivity. It just means that you're moving around slower. It's easier to hit the longer shots. If you're going to play fast as an SMG, then you're probably going to end up bumping this up. But this is personal preference, so which whatever feels good. I think on Cold War I actually played at 4.4. So I'll see how this goes. This is what I had for the beta. I slow this down because I find it just is enough when you are aiming down. I think if it's is it 1 or 100 or whatever it's classed as, I think that's default by 1, but at 1 it still feels a bit too fast for me. Didn't change any of this yet. Oh, um, vertical, haven't changed any of these. So I haven't changed this. I have this at auto sprint, but I haven't tested whether it should be automatic tactical sprint. I just keep on sprint for now. Tab, all this is fine. So if you go to advanced, then on. So that's fine on default. So on the based on the last ones, these two are going to be pretty much the same. At default and Black Ops will probably be very similar. So I'd say default's probably the way to start on this. Dynamics definitely the way to go here. Haven't touched this. Haven't touched that. No, that's so that one is each weapon could have potentially a slightly different zoom per the weapon or attachment, and my understanding is that this keeps it uniform across everything. This one's a big one, so for some reason the default of this isn't 0.1 or lower. This is basically to account for any stick drift. So the older your controller gets, the more likely it will have stick drift. But ideally, the lower this value is, the more responsive your stick will be, because it means when you barely touch it, it'll respond. If it's, I think it was 13 or something like that, it just means it's that fraction longer to respond to any input that you put into it. So, yeah, if you play around with this, the way to test this is select it. If you go into a game and you move your looking round sticks, your right, left, so on this one it's your left thumbstick. If you just push it and it continues to drift, moved, sorry, if it continues to move, that's when you've got stick drift and you'll need to push it up until that stops happening. So you want it at the lowest point that you don't drift after you've pushed your stick. Um, I think that it's better to have your right stick lower, because when you're stood in cover and you weave in left and right to make sure you're getting the in-game aim assist, this means you have to move your stick less to get a response out of it. These dead zones, yeah, move them down. You don't want any dead zone on them. Haven't really messed around with any of this yet. Doop, 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 doop. All good. Like I say, I'll go through these properly. It's just while I was looking at them on my own, I thought it would just be easier to do it. Graphics then. Obviously, turn all these on. For the time being, I think we turned this off on Cold War, and we found that it was probably better. But I'm going to keep it on because it just makes everything look better, and it should be able to handle it. So if it does cause problems, I'll try turning it off. But at the minute, I'm going to leave this on. Off, no film grain, off. I think it might have been, it was either, I can't decide if it was this one or this one we ended up turning off. So anyway, this is off. I play at 95 because that's just what I'm used to. There's a few things. So yep, if you go to 120 or higher, I couldn't start up a custom game to show this. You do see more of the screen, but what you find is like the game gets a lot faster because it has to move because there's more screen showing. So there's stuff like that to take into account. So for me, that I'm pretty sure that's just recorded. So That's very constructive. Thanks, Jeremy. Um, so I play around here. If you then went lower than this, it would feel slower again. So it might be a case of that your aim down sight sensitivity is high, but then you counter this with low, or you might want both high, which means that you're just going to be playing. You won't be playing rapid, but the game would feel a lot happier, faster. So this is definitely more what you're happier playing with. I kind of like this. Works for me. Least. Don't know about any of that stuff yet. Audio. I'm not really bothered about these. They don't really add much. I still don't fully understand what a master volume is when you have all these other stuff. Dialogue keep up. So the effects one is going to be the one where you hear footsteps and stuff. I think that based on the last few things, headphones with the bass boost is the way to go. I think it's nothing there that I changed. Interface. Don't think I did anything here yet. Minimap rotation. So square, because so you want a square minimap anyway, because you see more of it. That just means it'll rotate. That's okay. I'll try and go back over these again properly. Again, don't really know what the point of them is. There's the big one, crossplay. Make sure that's off. And that's about it, I think, to get us started.